also I wanted to thank everybody for coming today, and I want to place where we stand in time, because it's a very important weekend with Dr. King's birthday coming up. That there's a rabbi I want to talk about. His name was Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, and he was someone who worked very close with Dr. King. And he was a rabbi that people didn't really understand when he was alive. And he was a teacher in New York at the conservative seminary called Jewish Theological Seminary, and one day the class shows up, they're looking for their teacher, no one's there. They wait for the 15-minute rule, which also exists in rabbinical school, and there's no Rabbi Heschel. 20 minutes go by, they go, enough, they leave. The next morning, they take out the New York Times, front cover is Rabbi Heschel with Dr. King marching in Selma. And when he gets back, the school goes, "What are you doing? You're a rabbi. You should be praying, you should be studying, you should be teaching." And his response to them was, "I was praying, but I was doing it with my feet." And it's this radical concept that seems radical, that the notion of putting back in the world can take place in a very physical manner. And if we look back to really the very origins, middle section origins of Judaism, and going back to when we had the temple, when we did these sacrifices, that the biggest part of the offering was not just the smoke going up, but it was that people brought to the temple, to that central place, the fruit they brought out of the earth. There's a direct correlation with how much work and energy do you put into the earth is exactly what you get back out of it. And it was a whole generation of people whose hands were dirty, and they got that what you put into society, what you put into the world, what you put into the earth is what you're going to get out. And so since in some respects that it can seem bizarre that we sit here on a farm and we have cars flying by, and we have 3G network here still, that we've kind of come full circle. We've gone back to where we came from. We're back in that place of reminding ourselves that even though there's cars and cement, we actually can break that cement up and make the earth grow again. So if you will join me, if you know the blessing, I'd like us to do the Shechianu. Shechianu is a blessing put together by the rabbis that tell us to just stop. To stop in the time that we're at, and to essentially grab hold of the time we're in, and to realize that we're back on the top of a mountain. Because time is very temporary. And we can't stop it, but we can recognize when we're in a special moment. And this weekend on MLK's birthday, another anniversary of it, 48 years from the speech he gave at Abraham Lincoln Memorial. But that also we're thousands of years from that point, and coming back to the notion of that it's our responsibility to take care of the earth and to take care of the earth. If you'll join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu b'zman hazeh. Thank you all.